Hello everybody. I am popping on here to do a quick, well, we'll see how quick it is, but a little impromptu onboarding training. I was driving back, I was getting my lashes done, getting things organized to get ready to go on our cruise this week. And I was thinking about all of the amazing incentives that are in front of us in May. And I know that I'm not probably going to get to do any training or do anything while I'm gone. So I wanted to get on here because I know that we have a lot of newbies and I want you guys to be able to share this onboarding video, because what I find is when you're brand new, people just get a little confused. They don't really know where to begin. So anyways, for those of you that don't know me or haven't met, obviously my name's Dawn. And I'm gonna do you're welcome, Tori. And I'm just gonna go through the basics of onboarding. So you've signed up, you're in this group and you're a market partner and you now need to know what you need to do. So first and foremost, there I go. You need to do the Market Partner Academy and log into your back office. I also am challenging everybody who hasn't done this in a long time to get on and redo Market Partner Academy, because I'm guilty of this. I need to go on, and it's on my calendar and I'm doing it tonight because they've updated, we've got new product trainings in there. So I want everybody to be able to get on and do Market Partner Academy. Also have your certificate printed and give it to your upline, because if you do this and you've completed that training and you've given it to them, it's going to show them that you're serious about this business. Once you've done Market Partner Academy, then you need to sit down and figure out, what is your why? Why are you doing this business? And understand your why is going to change. So when I first started doing this business, my why, I didn't really have a why. I kind of did it because Stacy asked me to do it and I wanted this amazing product. So it's evolved and it's grown. And so now when I really look back and I think, like, my why's changed. 3 months later, it changed. Today, my why is a little bit different. And if your why doesn't scare you, then you're not dreaming big enough. So please, pen to paper, write down your why and share this with your upline. Also, you need to figure out when you sign up how much time you have to dedicate to this business. Your time also has to correlate with your financial goals of what you're looking to achieve in this business. So I try to sit down with people and say, all right, like, what do we want? Well, how much money do you want to make this month? If they say, I want to make $500 this month, okay, then we're going to sit down and we're going to map out their goals and also figure out, generically, what are your income producing activities that you need to do to be able to accomplish those goals. I'm going to give you guys an example. When I first started, I was working a full-time job. I had 3 children. I could have easily have said, I don't have time for this, because I didn't have time to go to the gym. So how am I going to have time to add in another business? But once I became intentional with it and I, bought a planner, which I'm still using, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to be super effective with the time that I have. So once my mind shifted into, you know what, here's the time that I'm going to dedicate to this, and this is what I'm going to do. So I would write down every week what I was going to do. Oh, somebody's at my door. And I would schedule a one-on-one coffee meeting every week. And I would reach out to 5 new people a day, whether it was making phone calls, emailing, text messaging. And I would also, hi Barb, follow up with people every single day. So I had kind of had a running journal of things that I would do every week. And so I also would watch a new training video and listen to a self-development book of some sort. And those are things that every single day that I did. It might have totaled an hour of my time, but doing that and being consistent with it I kept my eye on the prize and I was achieving those goals and those ranks. And as time went on and my goals got a little bit bigger, I had to adjust how much time that I was dedicating to this business. So, you know, when I started having my full-time job, I got to a point where I saw this kind of glimmering light at the end of the tunnel that told me that if I was super consistent with this and I just kept being intentional with it, that I could potentially free up that job, you know, my full-time corporate America job, and that I would be able to potentially do this as, you know, my new full-time career. And it happened for me. And so if I wouldn't have had my little vision board written down and had those goals sitting in front of me, you know, I'm not sure that I would be where I am. So really sit down and with your upline or your upline's upline or whoever it may be, and sit down and write those goals out. And if you're new, you know, I want you to ask, you know, what do I need to do to get to this point? And we need to be able to see that so that we can help you. Also, write down 100 plus contacts, pen to paper. I did this and I thought it was really silly at first. I'm thinking, why am I writing down names that are already in my phone? But it becomes a point of reference for you. So literally pen to paper, write down your 100 contacts, highlight those people that you want to be on your dream team. Whether it's 10 people, whether it's 20 people. I say start with 10 and think about the people that you want to take trips with, that you want to talk to on a daily basis, people that you think that would be rock stars on your team. Really focus on who those 10 people are. After listening to some books and things since being in this business, what I think is you need to also then ask your upline for help in contacting these top 10 people. You yourself would be brand new, so you maybe don't have all the lingo down yet and you're still learning it all. So utilize that person that you see would be a best match to talk to your prospect. Maybe it's me, maybe it's Stacy, maybe it's Jenny. Like, who do you think that is the most relatable to that specific person that you're trying to get on your team? And let us help you initiate a 3-way call to try to get them on your team. The next thing is scheduling your launch. So many people I find put off this step. Well, I'll do my launch next month. You really, really, really need to get your launch done right away. It's your ribbon cutting, it's your coming out. You're telling people that you found this amazing product, that you're a shampoo company that you're partnering with, and you want to be able to, you know, share the love with people. And I often say that I don't feel like we sell, I feel like we share. So I try to get people that feel like, well, I don't want to be that pushy salesperson. You guys, we're not really selling. Everybody uses shampoo. We're just trying to get them to use something that's better for them and kind of show them an opportunity. So get those launches scheduled. I also say that, you know, you might invite 20 people and 3 people show up to your launch. 3 people, that's amazing because you now have kind of, you know, a small little intimate group, and it's practice for you. Even if you have one person that shows up, that's a win. And even when I had my top 10, my dream team people, if I either scheduled a coffee date with them or I scheduled I told them to come over and let me wash your hair. And I just had this conversation with actually Lucy yesterday about, she's like, well, I'm not a stylist and, you know, what do I do? And I said the same thing. I was like, well, I'm not either. But what we're trying to really show people is this business is duplicatable. You know, you order your little tray on Amazon and you get them in your kitchen sink and you're good to go. So figure out what those income producing activities are that you can time block into your week. So that way you can be super consistent with it, because I promise you guys, you're going to get told no over and over and over again. But in those no's, you will get yeses. And in those no's, you don't know when those no's are going to turn into yeses. So we're basically planting those seeds so that way we can harvest later. And I read that it takes an average of 6 exposures for somebody to listen to you. So, whether you're new on social media and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be that person that's posting on social media about this, because I raised my hand. That was the hardest thing for me to do. I think it was really hard for me because in the beginning, there wasn't really anybody here doing it, and I felt super vulnerable. But now that I'm doing it, I'm seeing so many lives that have been impacted, whether it's in the business or whether it's just from using the shampoo. So I kind of just tell everybody, if people aren't interested, then let them unfollow you, let them, scroll past your post, whatever it may be. But really figure out how to capitalize on social media. I think I'm gonna have somebody help me and do a social media training in the next couple weeks as well, because it's super important with the content that you're putting on there. I also tell people, don't say, I'm selling this shampoo, here's my website, have fun, go at it. Because what's gonna happen is people, they might go on and buy retail. They might go on and order the wrong system. So we wanna make sure that we're giving them that personal attention, that consult with them. So, they feel that, we're their source for information, and we want to love on our VIPs so that way they help us with referrals in the future. Okay, so then the next thing, you've got your launch scheduled, you've done your launch. From there, you might have 3 people at your event, one of them signs up. So now you're gonna get a launch scheduled for your new person. Then I often say, build off of this as your team grows. So I know a lot of you guys have been to my house, and my events now, they range anywhere from, it seems like 25 people to 70 people. But what we're doing is we're utilizing people on our team now to grow these events. So cross lines, people on other teams, they're coming because it's power in numbers. So if you can get other people there and you get to hear someone else's story, like I might have a super successful single mom at my event, and now you've got some guests that are single moms. They may not relate to my story or my experiences, but now we've got someone there that they can relate to. So just build upon that, and grow your events as see fit. The next thing is to maximize at this point your Smart Start. When so many people sign up and they're like, well, I really need to use this shampoo for a while. What I tell them at that point is, you know what? I understand you need to use the shampoo, but let's think of this now from a business perspective, and let's utilize, the Monique Hair Testimonies page. We can add people there. We also have our 30-day money-back guarantee. So, I tell people to be upfront. Like, you know what? I've watched the results of so many people, and I finally decided to partner with this company, and we have this amazing sale going on. I would love it if you would try out the product and support me. And a lot of times that 30-day money-back guarantee is all people really need to feel confident in kind of making that plunge. Now, in the meantime, you will have been using the product and you'll feel more comfortable with where you're at in your business, but you may also, in the meantime, build a block. Because we really want people when they're new to really don't look ahead 5 ranks down the road. Focus on building those blocks, because what's going to happen is as you build blocks, it's going to get you to the next rank and to the next rank and to the next rank. So organically, you're going to rank up just by following that model, and then getting that Mo neighborhood. And it's not limited to one. So, as much as you can do during your Smart Start, the goal is for you to get as many blocks as you can, because when your Smart Start ends, you will have maybe ranked up to MMB. That's the goal. And then at MMB, what you're making every month is going to be comparable to what all those bonuses you were getting in your Smart Start. Okay, so the next thing is follow-up and consistency, because the number one thing that I see is people, they start off and they kind of go and, they do one event and then all of a sudden they stop. We need to be consistent. We need to, like I said, we're planting those seeds. So we don't know when those flowers are going to bloom for us to harvest them. So we really just need to keep doing the do. You may have a month where you feel beat down, like, oh my God, I got a lot of no's. That's okay. You're gonna get probably more no's in the beginning too, while you're figuring out your pitch of what works. What am I saying? Am I talking too much? Am I information overloading these people? It's all right, because I did that in the beginning. I would talk to people, and after I got done, I knew that I sounded ridiculous. Like I talked too much. But you know what? Had I not talked to that person, I wouldn't realize how I sounded. And I think the more no's I got, I'm like, you know what? That was just practice for me to be able to fine tune or refine what I'm saying to people. So just be consistent. Also, create systems. You guys have to, figure out, at night when I'm laying in bed, that's my best time to email my market partners. When you get a brand new market partner, you're going to want to send them a welcome email. You're going to want to make sure they are added in the appropriate Facebook groups. You're going to want to tag them in some of the Meet Monday videos. You basically want to spend 20 minutes just overloading them with that information they need. You guys, I have those scripts on my phone, my Monate scripts that I save in my phone. I know I've sent them to a lot of people. They're also in the Google Drive that is in this group. So you guys, when you go onto this page, there is a files tab and there is resources in there. In the Google Drive, I have a new market partner folder. It is basically, in the beginning, I made binders for all of my new people because I had time and I wanted them to be able to have everything at their fingertips. I have everything in the Google Drive where you can just go and you can print them out and you can make your own binders. We've had new products surface since then, so you may want to update or add to it, but it's a good base for you to get those new people off the ground and running. Some people learn more when they have information in front of them. Other people, they're virtual, so you can, they can just go onto your page and figure things out. So we just really want to make sure that we nurture our new people for the first, however long it takes. I always say, 30 days. Once they get, they rank up to MMP, then they rank to AMB. They're starting to get it and they're starting to understand it. And we're basically giving them the tools so they can duplicate what we've done with them to their new people, and so on and so forth. The other thing is, if you don't follow Eric Worre on Facebook, follow him. But he has a really good book called GoPro. It's a quick read. It's the first thing I tell my new people to do, because it's going to give you the basics of this business. Like, I know some people have come over from other direct sales companies. I was a realtor. I did not know anything about this business model or this platform. So I had like a fixed mindset. I was so like, no, I don't post about products. I don't do this, or I don't do that. So I had to really open up my mind and come up with more of a growth mindset. And honestly, these self-development books, and I now on Audible, I'll upload a book, and I recommend anybody do this. And every morning I listen to something, whether it's in the car or whether it's while I'm getting ready. It depends, but 30 minutes. And it has really boosted my confidence, and it's really changed the way that I view this business, and it's changed the outcome of where I've gone with this business. So the other book, I talked about it last time, was Building an Empire by Brian Carruthers. That book is amazing, and it really gets into the nitty-gritty of what you need to do to get to that next step, and how expectations and things. One of the things that I really took away from that book is something called taprooting. So you may bring on, I'm going to give you guys like an example. So you may bring on a market partner, and your market partner might have signed up a couple market partners, and they signed up a couple, and now you've got this little leg that's, you know, it might be 40 people in the leg, but the leg's kind of, you know, not doing much. But then somebody in your level 3, all of a sudden you're noticing that they're moving and they're doing something. So we want to love on that level 3 person. So their upline maybe isn't, or their upline isn't. So we're going to take that level 3 person and we're going to love on them, because if they all of a sudden, we can get them off the ground and running, anyone in that line, whether they're 3 levels down, 4 levels down, they count. They count as one of your requirements when you need to rank and you need to fill your little bubbles. So what typically happens then is your level 3 all of a sudden ends up being your little rock star. They're ranking to MMB and they're doing something. Well, now level 2 is realizing, they're like, wait a second, I have all this volume under me and I didn't really do anything. So what it's doing is it's lighting a fire from the ground up. So now that level, because that person is doing something, now it's going to motivate the person above them and the person above them to more easily reach those goals. So I always say, take each line you have and work that line until you find that person that's working the business like you're working the business. Because it doesn't matter if they're your level 1 or your level 5. They say a lot of times, as people in time have built their organizations, they might not have a rock star till 9 levels deep. So, you know, just kind of keep going down until you find somebody. You may have somebody that isn't performing, or isn't, maybe this business isn't for them, or maybe they're not super into the business, but they know people who are. So, you know, that's okay. Like, this business is done at everybody's own pace. And, you know, if they can bring somebody on that we can help and nurture, then, you know, we need to take advantage of that, and we need to start looking a little bit deeper, because sometimes I feel like people see somebody not doing anything and they kind of just forget about the line, and the line kind of ends up disappearing because we're not loving on that level 3 person. So that's something I think that we should maybe be a little more conscious of. What else did I want to talk about? I keep seeing people pull up. Oh, deliveries. Okay, go back and look at market partners that you signed up that basically have fizzled. You know, they're on your tree, but they're not doing anything. And attempt to relaunch them. I had somebody that signed up and didn't do anything. I would give them all the resources and tools. Timing was not right for them. Then all of a sudden I get a text message like, hey, I'm ready to do this. I probably should have followed up with them a little bit sooner. They followed up with me. But let's maybe reach out to those people that signed up that kind of fizzled off and say, hey, you know, I know maybe timing wasn't good when you signed up, but what do you think about relaunching your business? And, you know, kind of trigger some conversations with them about that. Because if we can get them relaunched, then that is something that, you know, you weren't really necessarily counting on re-energizing those market partners. Also, utilize your current VIPs and your non-market partners for referrals. So, for example, my sister, she will not do any part of this business. It's just not her thing. But she's happy to help me with referrals. And, you know, I always say like, hey, you're getting free kickoff kits this month for any new market partners you sign up. So I always just tell my sister, I'm like, bring me people, get me connected with people that you think may be good for this business, and I'll kick you back, you know, some swag for helping me. And so I think some people feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've tapped out my connections. But your connections have connections. So if we build those relationships with our connections and ask them for referrals, you would be surprised what'll happen. So example, you know, my sister referred me her childhood friend in Ohio that's now a market partner. So if I wouldn't have had that conversation with my sister and actually asked her, like, hey, I need your help. And some people you can ask for it more directly. But also nurture love on those VIPs. So that's why I say take care of your VIPs. Maybe have little VIP contests, and when the time's right, you can ask your VIPs, hey, I have a free dry shampoo. If you can refer me 1 or 3 people, whatever the number is that you want to do, you know, and get them to help refer you people, and get them VIPs to come to your events, have them bring guests. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And you guys, this MMB is doable for you guys that aren't there yet, who want the 100 points that can qualify for this incentive trip. And if anybody is on a path to MMB and you need help, or you want to know exactly what that looks like, message your upline, message me. I'm happy to help. Because I want to see you guys get there and take advantage of this market partner incentive this month. We have an opportunity to stockpile some product. I mean, if you can bring on 4 market partners this month, you're getting nearly $800 worth of product that, you know, you can either sell, you can have incentives for a Meet Monat, you can do giveaways for your VIPs. So we really want to make sure that we are taking advantage of this market partner incentive and get everybody to the Bahamas in November. So, okay, you guys, I am hopping off. I've got to start packing and getting my house organized because it looks like a bomb went off. And we'll do another training here soon. Bye, guys.